Hello guys, and welcome to the last tutorial, or better said last GTK about dialog tutorial. Until now we learned a lot of things about this widget, which is derived from dialog, and we saw a function which we could apply on them, and also we saw how do we need to handle the property story. And so now it is time to talk about signals and which kind of signals we can apply to this GTK widget. For this we go to object hierarchy, and I'm going to click on GtkAboutDialog right here, and in the top right corner here I have signals. And as you can see, we have only one, which is the activate link, and says that it takes a function which is a Boolean with 3 parameters. The first is the about dialog itself, which is basically the object on which the signal was emitted. The second one is the URI, which is the URL, or maybe better said the link which you are clicking, and the last one is a user data pointer. Okay, the signal which gets emitted to activate the URI application may connect to it to override the default behavior, which is to call GTK show URI on window. We are not going to talk about this now because it's not important, but let us see what's the story with activate link. Before we proceed, let us check how the program looks like. At this point we have only the about dialog created, which we created a new one. We set its transient for, and then we set model to true. Nothing special, so it's just a window which prints its name and also those 3 buttons. Okay, so that being said, before we proceed, we are going to let me go a little back to its functions, and we are going to set let's see, the website right here. So GtkAboutDialog set website name, because we need it. Okay, so I'm going to call this function GtkAboutDialog, and I'm going to pass, of course, our about dialog pointer. And the second one is the website. As if you remember, we said we have to call HTTP, and not so many T. Okay, and then we say no www.youtube.com. Okay, let me check it if works. I forgot a semicolon right here. Okay, let me check it if works. As you can see, works, but the name says website. We need to change it, and for this we need to set the website label right here. So we need to call this function to change it to a better name. The first parameter will be, of course, our GtkAboutDialog, and the second one will be the name. So I'm going to say YouTube. Okay, let me compile it and run it again and see how it looks like. And now we have a nice YouTube link here. I'm going to click on it to see that works, and as you can see, it works fine. Okay, that being said, let us go back to our signals. What do we know about this signal? We know that we need to create a Boolean function. And for this we need, of course, to catch the signal on it as well. So that being said, let me close all those things. I'm going to call at first the GSignalConnect, which I'm going to call it just after we created our about dialog new. GSignalConnect swap. The first one is our about dialog, the second is the activate link. I'm going to copy it and paste it right here. The next one I'm going to call activate link callback, of course, and the last one will be about dialog again, because we are calling the GTK G signal connect swap. Okay, the callback should be inside of a G callback macro. Okay, now we need to create a function which was gboolean, so let us create it right here, gboolean. And of course we need two parameters. The first one, it is the label. I'm going to copy it, and the next one is the URL, our link. Okay, let me fix its definition. And of course now we are going to say, I don't know, let us check if the GtkAboutDialog, it is about dialog itself. So if GTK is about dialog label, we are passing the label parameter here, then we are going to say g print the, I don't know, clicked link was, I don't know, you can use whatever you want to. Okay, so, and of course the URL, and we are going to return false here, and of course if it's not, we are going to return true. Okay, so that being said, what did we create here? We create a gboolean function which is called activate link callback, which takes two parameters. The first one is the GtkAboutDialog and the second is the gchar our link. We are checking if GTK is about dialog. If it is, then we are going to print basically what link we are going to click, and we are going to return false. If not, we are going to return true. And here, as you already saw, we created a about dialog, and then we catch the activate link. We connect this signal to our about dialog, and then of course we call those functions to set up our dialog, set transient for set model, and then we were creating the website and its label website. Okay, so that being said, let me make it smaller, minimize. Okay, I'm going to compile it and run it and see what happens. You will see that not that that you catch its link, but you will also be informed that it will already know that your browser is open and runs. Watch. The clicked link was http www.youtube.com. You see, and here says opening in existing browser session. So as you can notice, as you already noticed, it knows that your browser is running. So basically this is the story about how you are using, or how can I call it, the way you need to handle this kind of signal in this situation when comes about GtkAboutDialog. Anyway, you are going to meet this signal in other widgets. There is also in the GTK button link and so on, but this is another story. I think we covered everything we need to cover about this about dialog widget. Let me see. We were talking about these functions. We were talking about properties and so on. We are talking about signals. We have no CSS to work with and so on. So basically we covered everything which needed to be covered. So that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you like it, please subscribe, share with your friends and neighbors, and until next time, see you guys.